Patience was born on 31st December 1954. She retired on 31st December 2014 and on that date ceased employment and self-employment. The following information is available in respect of the tax year 1415.
Okay, so what information do we have to begin with, please?
That she was both employed and self-employed, and she's retired on the 31st December 14.
Excellent, good. So she retires in the 1415 tax year. They've given her date of birth, so you need to just have a think about how that may be relevant.
Okay.
So we're looking at how many years? We're looking at
60
years. Yeah. So I think that was the date, that was the retirement date, age back then. They've increased it now to 66. So, but that's fine. Let's keep it moving.
Okay. So employment. Patience was employed by a private school as a teacher from 6th of April to 31st December 14. She was paid a salary of 3,750 a month. During the period 6th of April to 31st December 14, she contributed 6% of a monthly gross salary of 3,715 to her employer's HM Revenue and Customs Registered Occupational Pension Scheme. Patient's employer contributed a further 10% on her behalf.
Okay, just explain what we have for these 2 points, please.
So every month I should calculate 3,750 as her income.
For 9 months, right?
Sorry?
For 9 months.
From 6th April. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Make sure you don't do 12, you'll do 9.
Yeah.
And yep.
And the 6% of that was contributed to it was taken at source to a occupational pension scheme.
That's further 10%, so 16%.
Yeah.
So 16% will be exempt for tax, and as you say, you'll reduce the gross amount at source, and then you'll tax the remainder to income tax and NIC. Good.
If I was working out, say, NIC, I'll only take her contribution though, right? 6%, not the 10. Is that correct?
No, NICs would still be on the full 3,750 times 9.
No, yeah, sorry. My question was, when I deduct the pension, will it be the 6% only, not the 16%?
No, it'll be the 16%.
It will be 16%, will it?
Yes, because both are making contributions into an occupational pension scheme.
Yeah.
Both are exempt basically for tax.
Okay.
It's a large amount, but you'd expect that because she is close to retirement age.
Okay, but what if I'm doing class 1, is it I take 6% of class 1 and 10% of class A? Is that how that works?
So you're talking about employers' contribution now, or employees?
Both.
So for employees,
yeah,
you ignore contributions. It's just the 3,750 times 9 months. Sorry, no. Yeah, so for both, you take off both. Correct. Yeah. So for both employers and employees, NIC, you do 3,750 less the 6%, less the 10%, and that balancing amount is subject to NICs. Correct.
Okay, and that's for both. It's not split out.
No, exactly. Yeah, good question.
Okay.
It's for both employers and employees NIC. Both are exempt.
Okay, all right. During the period of 6th April to 30th of June 14, Patience's granddaughter was provided with a free place at a private school run by Patience's employer. The normal fee payable would have been 4,600. The marginal expense of providing the place for the grandchild was £540.
So this is like a common question that comes up.
Yeah.
Have you seen it before, or is it the first time?
No, I think I've seen something like this before. So I would deduct the 540, right, as a taxable benefit.
What's your explanation slash
Sorry,
answer?
not deduct. Add.
Yeah, what's your explanation behind the 540, please?
It's I think there's a value that you can't go above. I think it's 10,000 or something. So it's fine that it's 4,600.
No. So basically, what you're thinking about here, you're thinking about
The loan.
the additional. No, it's not a loan. There's no loan here. It's just what you're thinking about is the additional cost to employer. Additional cost to employer.
Okay.
So because she's a private tutor at the school, the granddaughter has been provided with a free place. Okay. So it's not a loan in that sense, but it's just a free place because of her employment. What is the additional cost to the employer?
It's the 540.
Is it the 540 though? Because whether the granddaughter joins the school or not, the school or the classes will continue to run. So any further thoughts? So you're definitely happy that it's not the normal fee, right?
Yeah, I'm happy that it's only the 540 that I need to add.
That's correct. So basically, I was just trying to test you, but
Yeah.
there is a sort of argument whereby it's zero, because some say that the school would have continued to run whether the granddaughter
joined or not.
Joined or not, exactly. But because they've specifically mentioned the expense of providing the place for that particular grandchild, then yes, it'd be an additional sort of benefit, 540.
Okay, yeah. And what's the rule anyway on the free thing, the 4,600? Is there like a limit or anything?
No. I think the 10,000 you were talking about is for interest-free loans.
Yeah.
Yep. There's no limit on.
There's no limit
on this.
Okay.
No.
Okay. On the 25th of June 2014, Patience was given a clock valued at £600 as an award for her 25 years of teaching at her employer's school. She has not previously received any similar awards.
So the specific rules when it comes to awards for periods of service.
Yeah.
You just need to sort of learn them.
Yeah.
Just as in not learn them, you'll just read them and you just remember them. It's one of them things.
I know there's something, if it's above 20 or 25 years, you can get award. It's fine for gift. It's exempt, but I can't remember the value though.
Yeah. So it's 20 years. So this is 25 years. So that's fine. It has to be non-cash.
Yeah.
Which is a clock here. And clock valued at £600. So it has to be less than £50 per year. So 25 times 50 is 750.
Okay.
Sorry, it's 1,250. The value of the clock is 600, so it's exempt.
Yeah.
It's not taxable, basically.
Yeah.
Good.
Patience's employer provided her with interest-free loan so that she could purchase a season ticket for a train to work. The balance of the loan outstanding at 6th April 2014 was 8,000, and Patience repaid the loan in full on 31st December 14.
Highlighting the 8,000.
Yeah. So that's fine. That's all exempt.
Exactly. Interest-free beneficial loans less than £10,000, not exceeding 10,000, will not give rise to a taxable benefit in kind. Now, if at any point in the tax year the loan exceeds £10,000, then you have a full benefit in kind, even if the balance of the loan outstanding at the start was less than 10,000 and the balance outstanding at the end was less than 10,000. For example, it could have been 8,000 outstanding at the start. Then she took a further loan of 5,000,
Mm-hmm.
but then before the end of the tax year, she repaid the 5,000. So
Yeah.
we start with 8 and we end with 8.
Mm-hmm.
Because it exceeded £10,000 at any point during the tax year,
Yeah.
we do the full benefit in kind calculation.
Okay.
Okay.
And sorry, what is the benefit in kind calculation? Is it just adding on 8,000 to her income?
No, it'll be the 8,000. Well, obviously 8,000 is exempt, but if it was 10,000
Yeah.
or let's say 12,000, because
Yeah.
it exceeds 10,000,
Mm.
it'd just be 12,000 times the official rate of interest.
Okay.
And then sometimes you have to prorata by the number of months it was available, because sometimes it's repaid. So in this case, if this was 12,000, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
and we paid the loan in full on 31st December, if you look at the tax year, it was only available for 9 months.
Yeah.
So you do 12,000 times 2.25% times 9/12.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. Okay. Patience was self-employed as a private tutor. Her trading profit for the year ended 31st July 2014 was 14,800. This figure is after taking account of capital allowances. Patience's trading profit for the final 5-month period of trading from 1st August to December 14 was 6,900. This is before taking into account capital allowances.
So what can you tell me, please, from this information?
So the first one is fine, 14,800 because it's after capital allowances. The second one, I'll have to do a calculation to take off capital allowances.
Yeah. So when we see final 5-month period and we need to do a calculation for capital allowances, we're thinking about writing down allowance times 5/12. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Think about it. It's the
Yeah.
final period of trading.
Yeah. So there's no I can't. There's no writing down allowance. It will be everything.
Exactly. So that 5/12 is incorrect because there is no writing down allowance.
Yeah.
Nor is there annual investment allowance. And why have they given us the figures for the year ended 31st July 2014?
Because I'll have to pro rata. I think the first, if I'm looking at April to March, the tax year, then I have to take the first April, May, June, July, 4 months.
That's not entirely correct because she would have been on the current year basis, meaning any year ends falling in the tax year will be taxable in full. So if you
Okay.
remember,
Mm.
you start on the actual basis, then you move on to the current year basis, which is you just take the 12 months up
Okay.
until the end of the accounting period. So,
Yeah.
and if the end of the accounting period falls in the tax year, it's taxable in full. So it'd be effectively 14,800.
14,000 plus the 6,900 less capital
Yes.
allowances.
Yes. Good.
Okay. Yeah. The tax written down value of the capital allowances main pool at 1st of August 2014 was 2,200. On 10th of August 2014, patients purchased a laptop for 1,700. On the cessation of trading, patients personally retained the laptop computer. Its value on 31st December 2014 was 1,200. The remainder of the items included in the main pool were sold for £800 on 31st December 2014.
Okay. So that's the capital allowance computation. I'm going to leave that one for you because I just want to see how you
Yeah.
get on and think about presentation as well.
Yeah.
Point 4, please.
Patients has unused overlap profits brought forward of 3,700, which I should be able to deduct at the end.
At the end of the total of the 2 periods,
Yeah.
the year 12 months and the 5 months 17 months, you take off overlap profits. Good.
Yeah. Personal pension contributions during the period 6th of April to 31st December 14. Patients just contributed a total of 3,600 net into a personal pension scheme.
What are we doing?
Gross it up.
Okay, what's the calculation, please?
Times 100 of 80.
Correct. Yep. So it's a total.
Yeah.
3,600 times 100 of 80. You increase your
Yeah. And then that
base.
figure, I can then use that to change the bands.
Exactly.
Um,
Does the date have an effect?
no,
Why?
because it was done during the tax year, so
Exactly. They've given a
same
total.
tax year. Yeah.
Yeah. If they said monthly contribution,
Mm,
then you just do 100 over 80 and then times 9 months.
yeah.
But this is the total for the tax year, so that's fine.
Pension income during the period of 1st of Jan to 5th of April 15, patients received a state pension of £1,450, a pension of £6,000 from employers' occupational pension scheme, and private pension of £3,300. These were the total gross amounts received.
I'll let you have a think about that
Okay.
and do the calculations. We'll check your answer there. Okay, property, please.
Patients owned 2 properties which were let unfurnished until both properties were sold on 31st December 2014.
Disposal for capital gains tax purposes.
Yeah. The following information is available in respect of the 2 properties. So rent received during the tax year 14-15, sales proceeds on 31st December 14, allowable revenue expenditure during the tax year 14-15, and purchase cost. Patients has never occupied either of the 2 properties as a main residence.
So there's no PPR basically, looking at the last line. And
Yeah.
we've got proceeds and purchase costs. We'll need to work out the capital gains tax computation.
Mm.
Okay, so they haven't explicitly mentioned, you just have to realize that the word sold means disposal for CGT.
Mm.
So you simply do proceeds less base cost.
Yeah.
And I can see that there'll be some sort of loss in purchase property too. Okay.
Okay.
So I'll leave you to think about that one as well. What do we need to do? We need to calculate patients' income tax and capital gains tax. So they've sort of given you a hint there.
Yeah.
For the tax year 14-15 and the 2 marks for capital gains tax. So it'll simply be 2 times proceeds less base cost and the liability. But most of the marks are coming from the income tax computation. It's 15 marks, very generous. You made most of the comments in the information in the questions. So now I just want to see your working, your presentation, see if you follow through to your actual answer.
Yeah.
And there's scope for you to get close to 15, I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I'm going to give you, it's 39 now. I'll give you a shout at, it's 40 now. I'll give you a shout at 55.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll give you a shout at 52. And then if you need more time, we'll go to 55. And if you need more time, we can extend.
Okay. Yeah.
So income tax. So talk me through, please, what we've got.
Okay. So I did employment income of 9 months of 3,750, and then I did less the 16% pension,
Good. Yep.
and then I added back the £540 marginal expense for the school.
Good. Excellent. So it's taxable.
Yeah, and then I exempted the clock.
Good. As we discussed. Yep.
Yeah, and I exempted the interest-free loan as well,
Excellent.
and that goes to employment income.
Correct. Correct. Can you go back to the question? During patients contribute 6%. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Yep.
Is that fine?
Okay. Yep, that's fine. Employment income is fine.
Okay.
Self-employment.
Self-employment. So I took the 14,800 after capital allowances. This number here.
Yep.
And then I took the 6,900 there, less the capital allowances.
Talk me through what you've got
It
in the
might be easier
capital
just to drag
allowances.
it. So
Do you
uh,
know this what you do? Like you bring it from the question. What do you do? Do you just like sort of literally copy and paste from the PDF?
yes, I do the sniping tool.
Ah, yes, yes, yes.
I just snipe it and bring it in.
Okay, okay, good, good. Yep.
Yeah. So okay, yeah. So 2,200 main pool brought forward, plus the laptop 1,700.
Yep. So no
Uh,
annual investment. Usually would have got annual investment, but
yeah,
no annual investment.
yeah. And then 3,900, and then disposal of the laptop to herself 1,200,
Mhm.
and then disposal of the whole of the main pool £800, and then there was a balancing allowance of 1,900.
Excellent, excellent. So the two disposals could have been put together as minus 2,000, but that's fine as well.
Yeah.
And the balancing allowance reduces your income by 1,900,
Yeah. And
and
then
then
less the overlap profits brought forward 3,700.
so you're picking up a mark just for doing the minus 3,700. Imagine that,
Yeah.
one mark just for that. So you're picking up marks left, right, and center.
Yeah.
For example, even bringing the tax return down value brought forward of 2,200, that's half a mark.
Okay. Yeah.
So you're picking up marks here, there. As we know, 50% is the pass rate. Therefore, if you do get stuck on a question,
Yeah.
I think to be honest, you'll be fine. I think anyway. I don't think you'll ever get to a position where you're completely stuck,
Yeah.
which is good. But just for other exams as well, you can take the same sort of approach mentality, which is the pass mark is 50%. You allocate your time. So I think it's about 1.5 minutes per one mark, right?
Yeah. 1.8. Yeah.
1.8 per one mark.
Yeah.
So let's just say it's a 15 mark question. You're entitled to, let's say, 28 minutes or whatever it is. You do your best in those 28 minutes, and once you're satisfied that okay, I think I might have picked up more than half the marks,
Yeah.
you move on, because
Yeah.
the later part of the question is where you get stuck, as in your mind goes blank, you're not too sure, you need to do more workings.
Yeah.
And that's where students start to take more time thinking, I need to get to the end of this. And then that's where the time issues arise, because now they've taken 40 minutes instead of 28.
Yeah.
So you pick up your marks. Once you're happy, you just move on.
Yeah.
Again, at the end, if you have a few more minutes available, that's when you come back. But the last thing that should be happening is running out of time.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's unfortunately what happens for a lot of students. They run out of time.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, 16,100 self-employment I put here.
Yep.
And then next was pension income.
So what did we do for pension?
So here I did the 1,450, the 6,000, and the 3,300.
Yeah. So basically, you're saying it's all taxable.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep. That was it for pension, and then sorry, the properties here as well. On the property income, there was rent received 3,600. Less the allowable expenditure so I put nil for the first one.
Good. And you just put a note. Did you put a note somewhere for carried forward rental losses, or? Okay,
no,
yes.
I didn't.
Sorry. Yeah, keep going.
And then the second one, 7,200 less the 2,600 allowable.
Yeah, but then you'd offset the loss against the full 600, right?
I didn't do that.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Okay.
So you have net property income after you take off your losses.
Okay.
So really and ideally, you'd want to do a working.
Yeah.
You'd
Yeah.
want to do a property income working.
Yeah. Do you want here quickly? Okay. So income 3,600, 4,000.
Allowable expenses.
$7,200, 2,600. Yes.
Less loss carried forward. Well, it's not carried forward anymore, right? It's just loss. So remove the
Yes.
carried forward, even for the top bit. It's just the loss, yeah. So your total property income is 3,500. Excellent.
Okay. Okay, and then from that, I deducted personal allowance. And then I expanded the bracket for personal pension, so by 4,500, which is gross of that.
Good. Excellent.
So yeah, that's 42,000. That this one should change. One sec. 42 something should now be 4,070. Yeah.
Okay, and then you have your tax liability, 10,926. That's income tax liability.
Yeah.
And then capital gains tax. Just go up slightly, please. I just want to check something.
Yeah.
Taxable income, yeah, good. So there's no dividend or savings income, good. And then capital gains tax, please.
So I did the proceeds,
Mm-hmm.
122 plus the 98, less cost.
Ideally, you'd want to show the
Separately.
property separately, yep. But you can, I leave that to you to sort out. But you
Okay.
do property one, proceeds less cost, and then property two, proceeds less cost, and total will still give you the same total.
Yeah.
Because look, so if you think about it, from this information, we can't see that there's actually been a loss, right? On one of the properties. On the property two, there's actually a loss.
Oh yeah, yeah.
By doing this, you can't really see that.
Yeah.
So that's why we do them separately. And regardless, you show them separately anyway.
Okay.
Because the taxman, HMRC, would want to see from this, it looks like you've just disposed of one property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
So
makes sense.
They'll probably start asking questions. And yes, you've taken off the annual exempt amount and high rate at 20%. Please explain your understanding of 20%
So what's it?
property.
I did 20% because it was not a residential property.
It is a residential property, but it's not her own. So
yeah.
The last line is just telling you that there's no PPR, but it's still residential property because you're receiving rents.
Oh, I see. Okay. So I can still take it off even if she doesn't live in it.
No. I'm saying it's not 20%, it's 28%.
Yeah, I thought that was only if they were living in it. Is that not true?
No, it's 28% is for 18 and 28 is for residential properties.
Oh, okay.
If you're living in the property, then you get PPR. That's a different thing. but the rate so if it's a buy-to-let property, which is what it is here,
Yeah.
they bought it to let it out. It's a residential property. Any BTLs are residential properties, and the disposal of them would be 18 or 28%.
Okay. So that will be 28%.
Correct. And that's fine. That would give you 2 marks.
Okay.
Well, obviously, I would suggest you do the properties separately.
Yeah, separately. Yeah.
Let's move on. That was a good question, as in it just literally covered a bit of everything.
Yeah.
So that's a good question. It's just the benefit of you doing the computation yourself is we can pick up presentation errors, and obviously you can learn from other errors as well.
Yeah.
But I think the number of errors you're making has significantly reduced anyway.
Yeah, it has.